So now when you go to a restaurant or order something at the grocery store, they'll turn that screen around and it's like tip amount. And you get to pick. It's like 20, 25, 75%, whatever. And you...
Pretty much.
Right. And you get it because often people in those roles also may have to work multiple of those to just afford to live. But then business owners will, put the cost on customers, but it creates that pressure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of tipping in a professional office environment?
No, but I'd like to.
Yeah.
I'd like to learn more. I want to screen.
I'm going to put a tip jar on my desk. I mean, I work from home, but
like HR, like you help an employee, like think through advocating for like a pay raise, think it through, and then they get it, giving them that portion of it, right? Well, so I had this happen to me in my first corporate job out of college that I've talked about some. That was corporate sales. And my role was what they now call a BDR, like business development representative. So I'm cold calling at the time, like Fortune 1000 CFOs to schedule appointments for somebody else who had, a variety of real and made up titles that we made sound like very, very which I think the official title was associate director internally. I think externally it'd be like, my super duper galactic amazing wizard is coming to town. Like, would you like to have the pleasure? So in that, we were paid like on a salary basis that I think changed over time. I think that role did get reclassified potentially as eligible for overtime, but that's another story. But we got paid on a salary basis, and then we did have bonus. Like we had bonuses by the companies. But also, I found out at the end of the year, we were at lunch with friends at our happy hour, and this person was like, they called a marketer. They're like, what did your marketer that you were assigned to? Because it was like a dotted line. They weren't your boss, but you were assigned to them. Oh, what'd your marketer give you? What are you talking about? Like a holiday gift? Like, no, like a bonus. Like, what do you mean? Like, we got a salary, we got bonuses from the company, but I found out some of these different marketers who had these goals, and of course it depended on, they would give ranges to their person that was scheduling appointments for them just out of their own pocket.
Oh, hello.
Smart.
Not mine. And so I was like, what? Right. So there's a reason I asked, what are you talking about? Because I didn't know. And I was a little like bugged because I'd been working there and my marketer ended up meeting and exceeding their goal. And I, not surprisingly, worked my ass off to like help that happen. And I got like at the time, like I got what I was paid by the company. So like no objections there. But I remember kind of being like, oh, and this created a whole then buzz between the marketers and whether this is right or wrong and how much because I knew some people got like thousands of dollars literally from their person. So one day I'm at my desk and my marketer comes over and says, like, I didn't say anything because also like, I'm not going to be rude about it, but in my mind was kind of like, oh man, all right. Now I'm bugged. But they came over and they're like, okay, like apparently some marketers are supposed to be like giving money to we were called MAs. Like, here you go. You want my 2 cents? Here's my 2 cents. And put 2 frickin' pennies on my desk.
Shut up.
You motherfucker.
There's a reason that sticks out to me 2 decades later. And actually, I liked working with this person generally, like interesting, pretty like a good working relationship. We switched territories the next year, so we didn't work together anymore. I was so offended.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was 22. And so I certainly didn't have the not certainly, I personally didn't have the fortitude to be like, oh, that's kind of fucked up. Like that makes me feel really less than. You could have just said nothing. But the 2 pennies on my desk, I remember eyeing those, like I can visualize them right now. And I remember eyeing those and just being so offended by that. So anyway, that is why tip culture in professional organizations, maybe not the best idea.
What a bitch. That is so rude. Like I'm just sitting here, mouth agape. Like that is so rude.
It was a guy too, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Mm-hmm. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Petty bitch.
Oh, tell me you work bare minimum. Tell me you just worked enough to keep your job. I wouldn't be going above and beyond for that motherfucker.
For the holidays, no. We switched and I went to somebody else and I continued to work above and beyond.
Did you get your marketer bonus that time?
Well, I was an MA. Yes, I got my, monthly MA bonus, which was a lot smaller than the marketers were getting as well. Like there was a reason these marketers were giving like pretty big ones. And so so sometimes we'll talk about this, that like the things that happen to you, they feel really shitty at the time, you can use those to shape the kind of professional that you want to be. And so I eventually got promoted to become a marketer and I had MAs and I always treated them well. But it was... Anyway, it was...
Oh my gosh. Rude.
Yeah. 2 cents flick right there. Real funny.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Rude. Rude. Rude.
I'm going to be thinking about that later. Gosh, like I'm like all mad in my chest. You know what I mean? Like I can feel it. Like that is so rude. I want to tell them off.
Are you connected with him on LinkedIn?
Jamie wants revenge.
I don't know about LinkedIn. I am on Facebook.
Okay.
Give Jamie the name.
Can you share this?
Yeah, I will. I'll share this
You're
one.
going to sign him up for all sorts of bad listservs.
My horns are coming out.
I got you. Yeah.
Oh, what a jerk. Oh, God.
Yeah, not cool.
Want to learn a new language? Well, the best way is to uproot your entire life, drop yourself in the middle of a new country, and figure it out from there. But if you don't have time for that, you can still learn a language the next best way, and that's with Babbel. In fact, I've been using Babbel lately to help me refresh my Spanish. That's right. It has been a few decades since I've taken Spanish in school. And so using Babbel has helped me remember and recall and finesse all of those real life conversational skills. Oh gosh, important things like how to order food and ask for directions and speak to someone in a bar. Highly, highly recommend. So here's a special limited time deal for our listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/HRBesties. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/HRBesties. Spelled BABBEL.com/HRBesties. Rules and restrictions may apply. Adios.
Whether you're taking care of your kids, a senior loved one, or juggling both, we all need a break sometimes. Care.com can help give you that break by helping you find trusted caregivers in your neighborhood. Having help in my corner has made a world of difference. It allows me to be more present and less stressed, both at work and home. It really does take a village. See why 29 million families have turned to Care.com. Find background check, highly rated sitters, nannies, and senior caregivers who can help with everything from watching kids after school to meal prep for seniors. You call the shots, find what's right for you, whether it's full-time, part-time, or even occasional help, all on one simple platform. On Care.com, you can search caregivers, view rates, and find care that fits your budget and schedule. How convenient is that? Check out Care.com to get support and the break you need.
Well, we better kick this meeting off. Gosh, we are so glad everyone can join us for today. Important topics, as always. We are going to do a quick run through of the agenda of this meeting. We're going to start with some cringe corporate speak, and that is going to be brought to us by Jamie today. Thank you in advance, Jamie. And then we are going to shift into our hot topic of this meeting, and it is HR pet peeves. Well, we're going to share it all, people. We're going to share it all, or what, won't get us canceled. And then, of course, we're going to have Q's and C's at the end. We're going to save room for some questions and comments. Jamie, what do you got?
So today's corporate speak is cross the finish line. And of course, it's very fitting right now, right?
Olympics.
We got the Olympics going on. Typically, I've heard it used in maybe you're working on a project and when is it going to be done? When is it going to be completed? When are we going to get this across the finish line? I'm pretty sure I've used this too. Oh, I'm pretty sure I have. And I probably used it in the last month. Oh God, I hate myself.
There's almost like this desperateness about it. Like, gosh, like everyone's so frustrated. We have just got to get this across the finish line. Like this needs to end. This torture for all of us needs to end. Can we just get this across the finish line?
And across the finish line generally does not mean the person with like the arms back, proud thing. It's like the person that stumbles and falls immediately after. It's like wrapped in the aluminum blanket. Like, oh, I need fluids to survive now.
Electrolytes.
Also, when we cross the finish line, we're not receiving a gold medal.
No.
Exactly.
We just literally get to mark it off of our to-do list.
It's a participation trophy.
And at work, generally, when you finish something, it's like you cross and you're like, phew. And then they're like, no, get up, get back to that start line. You have
Exactly.
a marathon coming up. The next race is starting.
Yeah,
and you're
exactly.
like, wait, I'm sorry,
You have
what?
the next project.
It is. And so it's like that that saying of like, adulting is constantly saying after the end of this week, things are really going to calm down and
Oh, yeah.
over and over again until you die. So
So cute of us.
Oh, gosh. I know. Gosh. So do you say across the finish line? If not, try saying it at work today.
bring it up and then giggle. And
Exactly. I don't think I say that, but I've certainly heard it. I don't think that's in my repertoire.
I'm sure I've said it and I haven't meant it because like anything, most of the things I'm going to be crossing, I'm just going to be picking back up. And
On to the next.
I know.
as one boss once told me, which I laughed long ago, sometimes you just got to put on the ripped hose and the broke ass heel and get back out and make it work. And I was like, okay, you know what? I
Just
actually
keep
appreciate
poking.
that
Yeah.
level of candor. When you're feeling rough, just take messy action.
Oh, man. Yeah, let's get it across the finish line, just like this meeting. Let's get this across the finish line, ladies. So shifting gears, let's move on to our hot topic of this meeting. And I think this was inspired by a follower. Is that right, Ashley? Another great topic idea.
Yes, we had a follower that reached out and said, would you mind sharing some of your HR pet peeves? She's like, I'll go first. Mine is, and we'll start it off with this. We'll do some lightning round questions. She's like, I have it when someone comes to me to report a fellow coworker's dress code violation.
Yes.
And I chuckled at that.
I am not the fucking fashion police. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
I don't care. Yeah. Are they doing their job? Cool.
Have you all had those?
Yes.
Of course. And it's always the go and have this conversation and then like, oh God, like this.
Yeah. And it's usually the manager.
Mm.
The manager can't like this. I was going to say sack up, but
Ooh.
I don't want to.
Oh, gosh. Wow.
Yeah. Vag up.
Exactly. Junk up to be inclusive.
It's usually the manager, and it's a male manager, and they don't want to approach their female about their bra strap showing or something. I'm like, give me a fucking break.
It's only ever been women that have been critiqued to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like too much cleavage. That's a big one.
Yep.
Flip flops.
Yep.
Spaghetti straps.
Yeah. I've even had that, and I'm not well endowed.
You've gotten that feedback, Jamie?
Yeah, this is actually a really funny story. So it was my boss from hell. It was a company I was at with for 5 years. And I worked in the corporate office, and the majority of the people I dealt with were all in the field. So it was all actually over phone, because we're talking like pre-Zoom days. Like we weren't Zooming. So it was all pretty much over the phone or like webinars. So I had and y'all know, I don't show my boobs that much. Like I'm not out and about with them, but my boss would come over to me, and she would in my cube, and she would like stand, above me that she could look down my shirt. And she said something to me. I literally said to her, I was like, with all due respect, I was like, no one comes in my cube, because they don't. They didn't. We were a pretty small corporate office. There's only about 30 of us. No one came to each other's cube. I said, with all due respect, you're the only person that comes to my cube. And I was like, and you have an angle that you were, because I was like done. Like she picked on me. She was one of those. But yeah,
Jealous.
I remember just being like, I remember crying later that night because I was so upset.
Aww.
And then I was like uber conscious of everything I wore.
Of course.
Like, oh my God, is this one just a little too low? Do I need to not wear this? And because, my VP of HR or whatever her title was looking down my shirt and critiqued me on it.
To me, that's like literally sexual harassment.
Yeah.
You're coming into my personal space. You're looking down. That is creepy.
She also brought up my appearance once in a performance review as well. And my oldest was pretty young, so I wasn't sleeping. So I didn't look the best I could look, but I still,
Like you were self-conscious.
I also had to be there at 7 a.m. So it was an hour away from where I lived. And so I was getting up at like 4:40. So like my makeup and hair was done, but like I looked tired, to be completely honest. And this was prior to me getting Botox. And so I remember her thinking that, and also that really hurt my feelings. But also I was thinking, fuck you. I have an infant.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm like pumping and pumping and pumping in this baby, like.
Yeah, my commute, no one, oh my God.
Yeah, my commute, I'm getting up at 4:45 in the morning just to be here at 7 on the dot. And yeah, so she was wretched.
Oh man, well, yeah, that's a pet peeve. Damn, I know, God. That's a good tangential story there to nail a lesson, to reinforce learning.
Enough about me and my cleavage and my giant tits.
Do you ever wish that you had an HR legal bestie in your pocket? 650 is just that. Your trusted, always available ally for your employment law questions, minus the hefty price tag of a lawyer. Compliance may not be your favorite chore in HR, but it's important and it's hard. But 650 is here to make it easy. With 650, managing multi-state HR compliance is a breeze. Their tools help you to understand complex state laws and craft compliant documents effortlessly, but also keep everything up to date automatically. They have a comprehensive "What's the law in this state" library to a 50-state employee handbook builder. 650 turns compliance into convenience. So, HR pros juggling multi-state teams, simplify your compliance today. Visit 650.com/besties. That's SIXFIFTY.com/besties. And discover how to stay ahead with 650's seamless solutions. Did you learn about finances in school? I did not, but I want to plan a successful future for myself and especially for my kids. Fabric by Gerber Life makes it easy for you to set up an investment account now that grows with your kids and prepares them for their financial future. Fabric by Gerber Life was designed by parents for parents to make it easy to plan for and manage your family's financial path. With a kid's investment account from Fabric, you can start investing in your child's future today. Funds can be used for nearly anything to benefit your child, from tuition to books to summer camps and after-school activities. Or they can use the funds as adults for their first home or a new car, or even to start a business. It's online. You can start in 5 minutes. You can even share the gifting link so family members can contribute. Join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to protect their family. Start investing in your child today at meetfabric.com/HRBesties. That's meetfabric.com/HRBesties. MEET fabric.com/HRBesties. This is a paid promotion for the Fabric UGMA product and not for investment advisory services. Portfolios managed by Fort Washington Investment Advisors, Inc. Custodial services provided by Apex Clearing Corporation. All investing is subject to risk. Terms apply. Learn more at meetfabric.com. Okay, let me drop another one in here. In Bestie Sarah, thank you for that one. She's like, as she said it, nothing makes her eyes hit the back of her skull faster than when someone comes in to report something to have her fix that. So I was thinking, what about in HR when you do something nice? Like you try to bring in food or something like that, and not as a replacement for compensation, but try to plan and bring something in. And then people start
shit on it.
People start to totally shit on it.
Oh, yeah. That drives me nuts, too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I wish you would have got, or this happened a lot, actually, in the hospitality industry.
Ironically.
So in hospitality, we had a lot of different cultures. So a lot of times what I would do is I would take a survey because there was some that were fasting, or some could only eat certain foods, or no pork, for instance. So I was always very thoughtful about how I planned meals out, specifically in my roles in hospitality. And I'm telling you, no matter how much thought and planning and sitting with our executive chef to plan these things, I had the most complaints. And it was always so upsetting. I'm like, what? So do you rather me just order, 50 Dominoes? I don't know. I put together this fancy menu and you're complaining because,
And this is why you get pizza, people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's just the easiest thing.
It always hurt my feelings, especially how much planning went into it, and the poll and sitting with the chef. And
it's often the people that have needs really appreciate it. It's the people that have the preferences.
Of course.
It's the personal preferences that'll be like, I don't like that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I've cut out this from my diet, but it's not like a medical thing or whatever,
Right.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. Just don't like that.
My trick on this, randomly, I know we're not trying to solve things here per se, but I just order what I want to eat, and I make sure it doesn't run out. Like I order 25% more because that's where the most complaints come from. It ran out. I didn't get some. So I make sure people get to take stuff home. So because like you, Jamie, you try, all these good intentions, and it was just constant bitching. Oh man, so then I'm like, you're welcome. Oh, damn. You got another pet peeve question, Ashley?
I do. This would be like the meeting without a real subject line or purpose. Especially, let's say, one that's set on a Friday for a Monday morning. And so you have employees that are like coming to you as HR that you're often not even involved in it. But people will come and it's like, is something going on? My boss just sent me this meeting for Monday morning. And it's because that boss didn't give the context. And so now you're in the middle trying to solve for this and calm people down and, tell the manager, no, this isn't a snowflake. They genuinely are like worried and about what's going on, and you're putting them on the edge. And so thoughts?
Yeah. Am I getting fired?
Yeah.
Is it a layoff meeting? Mm-hmm.
I had a direct report that this happened to, and she came to me and she's like, so-and-so put a meeting on my calendar. What do I do? And I was like, there's nothing, about it. And so I'm reaching out to the person because she's terrified. And I'm like, give her some dang context. She's thinking she's getting fired.
Mm-hmm. Was she fired though?
No, she wasn't. She was not.
Because sometimes that does happen a little more.
She got asked to participate in a big project, and it was kind of under lock and key. So there was a level of confidentiality, but I feel like you also could have said,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
We're talking about a project, a new project. That's it. You don't have to say. You don't have to give details in writing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if that happens to you, just ask the person, oh, hey, how can I prepare for this? And then, give me some insight on what to do. And that's like a way to get some deets on what the hell it is, just in case that happens. But that's annoying.
Okay, Leigh, what are your thoughts on if someone's hiring for a position and they're like, you handle the whole hiring process for me, entire process for me, HR?
Nope. I won't do it. I got out of that game. Yeah, but no, I really pushed that back, the responsibility back on the hiring managers when I was working corporate, because I left corporate America at the beginning of this year, right, to work for myself full time. But after nearly 20 years in corporate, was it 18 and a half, 3/4 years, whatever the hell it is. I learned to not take on people's monkeys, right? Because people are always slinging monkeys off their backs and onto yours, right? So shifting,
not my circus, not my monkeys.
Exactly. Shifting their responsibilities onto you. And everyone tries it. We all try it. Everyone does it, right? Because your plates are full. You're busy, right? So anything you can kind of shift or delegate, you will. And if someone allows you, you keep doing it, right? So it's good to teach people how you want to be treated. So, I push back. Actually, this responsibility is yours. You're the hiring manager, but biggest pet peeve, and it's hard to stand up and do that. Thankfully, I'm not a people pleaser. And thankfully, it's easy for me to have like a direct, like on the spot coaching conversation to deflect a monkey. But boy, do our managers, I'm talking as an HR person, boy, do they love to like push everything as much as they can. And it would really piss me off because it was a lot of admin stuff, it felt like. And it's like, dude, like I went to business school. What the fuck? Like, are you serious? Like, I make more than you do. That's what I'd always want to say. I make more than you do. I would not say that. No, I wouldn't say that. But I'm thinking, wait, what? Like, yeah. Like, are you kidding me?
People don't have either they don't understand what's entailed or they do understand and they want to put it on you. And so it really is a partnership. Like HR has a role in creating like, okay, here you go. Here's to set you up. Here's questions for interviews. How's you structure them? This is once you've identified it, these are things to be mindful of. These are examples of interviews. So you can be mindful of candidates' time. Teaching those best practices, but having them handle the whole thing. We're like, oh, can HR just get all of the resumes for this and pick everybody? Like, and especially if you don't have if you don't have recruiting, like HR has more than a full-time job generally. And so adding this on top of it and the sorting, then there's literally not enough hours in the day. Jay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like in onboarding, I think that after day one, that's the hiring manager. Like, I understand day one, because you need to know where the bathroom is. You need to know where parking is, where, when you get paid, when your benefits are, when you're eligible. I get like all
I-9,
of
blah,
that,
blah, blah.
or I-9, all the administrative stuff. But really after that, that's the job training. There might be some compliance training, or maybe some, training in the LMS system that they need to complete. But really, that's on the hiring manager after that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, people, God bless it, most people don't want to be hanging out with HR at work. We can try to make it so you can, but being that playwright, not being the best lead or supporting actor or actress, but being the playwright.
The
Yes, it is
protagonist.
that is the job that I fervently believe HR can really do to help people and help. But it is that partnership, not just doing it all for you and turning it over perfectly like a wizard. Okay, maybe we'll do like, one or two others, but one is when you're trying to explain something, like something in the US and around the world, often is accommodations. So someone is eligible for an accommodation. At times that can be based on medical, religious need things. And the manager says, well, everyone else is going to want it too. So we can't possibly do that, because then everybody else is going to ask for it. That's
I think it's shitty. I mean, right?
Yeah.
TLDR, it's shitty because of equity, right? There's that E again, right? I think a recent story that had come up, I don't remember, but I know that we were talking about this offline, like within our chat group or something, was, a pregnant woman who requested parking that was closer. Pregnancy recognized in the U.S. as a legit disability.
Well, under the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act, that's new. That was not part of the ADA, but yes, which is being challenged in court, but we won't talk about that. Yes.
But still, it's like a thing, right? And anyone who's ever been pregnant knows it feels like you're just
For real.
I mean, everything hurts. It's hard to breathe. I mean, you name it, right? All the things. And, they were granted the accommodation of the closer parking spot. People complained because they're assholes, and they revoked it.
Yeah.
That is so
shitty.
freaking rude.
And she pointed that there was like reserve spots for motorcycles. And she also had the video where she's like, she, from her new far away parking spot, walked past the reserve spots and there were like empty ones.
Of course they were.
And you're like, from a common sense.
And this was recent. Ashley and I both covered it on TikTok about it.
Yeah.
And it's like the heat of summer, and just so disappointing. And what needs to happen is someone comes and complains to you. You as the HR professional says, hey, they have these rights. We granted them rights. End of discussion.
Mind your own business.
Yeah.
Not everyone's pregnant. I mean, what the heck, I mean,
I think I said in that video, and again, every once in a while, we'll give you little snippets that basically summarize our podcast in seconds. So they're really cheat sheets. But if someone's doing something at work and you can think to yourself, that would sound weird if somebody talked about that on social media, then use your HR voice and make it not happen.
Yeah.
I do think an episode that we could do would be the flip side of this, to say pet peeves that people have about HR, rightfully in some circumstances. So things not to do in HR that cause people to come on our social media and be like, all HR is evil. So we'll put that as a separate episode. That's a don'ts list that becomes a do, because why people hate HR.
Yeah. Why HR sucks.
But it is. And again, that doesn't mean you're often an evil person. It just means you may not know better. So that's what
But it hurts your credibility.
It does.
Oh my God.
And ours. So, oh my gosh. So if you have more that you've thought of when you're in HR, send us those. We'll put some of those on our socials, but we will also give the flip side as a nod to those that are listening, saying like, let me tell you, HR, what my pet peeves are. We'll talk about them. So there we go.
So some of you may know that I have a bunch of animals. 3 dogs, 2 cats, 3 fish, and a turtle, to be exact. And if you're a pet parent like me, you know about Chewy. And when they say they have everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy, they're not messing around. To keep them happy, Chewy has over 100,000 products from all the brands my pets love at prices I love. Foods, treats, beds, you name it, they have it. And it gets shipped directly to your door in 1 to 2 days. And it's not just dogs and cats. Birds, fish, reptiles, and more. To keep them healthy, Chewy offers pet prescriptions, pet insurance, telehealth vet visits, and are even rolling out vet clinics across the country. Thanks to Chewy's auto ship feature, I'm never getting that "I'm so disappointed in you" look from my pet. I've set up reoccurring shipments of all my essentials we need, so I'm never running out and I can change or cancel my auto ship order at any time. It's super convenient and one less thing I have to worry about. Speaking of not worrying, Chewy has top tier 24/7 customer service. I can get expert advice over chat or the phone day or night. Plus, if my pet doesn't love something, Chewy's 100% satisfaction guarantee lets me return it within a year, no questions asked. I personally love the auto ship feature. It's been a huge time saver, but also just peace of mind that I'm not going to run out of like my dog's food. Chewy has everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy. And right now, you can save $20 on your first order and get free shipping by going to chewy.com/hrbesties. That's chewy.com/hrbesties to save $20 off your first order with free shipping. Chewy.com/hrbesties. Minimum purchase is required. New customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See site for complete details. If you're like me, you're still trying to squeeze the last little bit of summer out. So, wherever those sunny days take you, a pair of sunglasses should always be within reach. With Pair Eyewear, you can switch from prescription frames to sunglasses for UV protection or polarization in a snap. I personally love how convenient sun tops are compared to carrying another pair of glasses. I keep my sun tops in my car and I switch them out with my outfit for the day. You can browse through top frames. I'm personally a huge fan of the mirror top frames right now. You can explore all the endless possibilities. And what the best part was for me was the virtual try on. You can browse frames for men, women, and children starting at $60. This summer, you can also set your kid at heart free and explore their new Mickey and Friends collections. They have a bunch of playful patterns and subtle nods to the iconic characters like Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, and so many more. Explore the new Mickey and Friends collections, find your style, and get 15% off your first pair by using code HRBesties at Pair Eyewear. Celebrate friendship and adventure this summer with Pair Eyewear. Go to paireyewear.com, use code HRBesties for 15% off your first pair, and mention that HRBesties sent you in your post-checkout survey to support us. That's Pair, P-A-I-R, eyewear.com, code HRBesties.
I have a pet peeve. People thinking HR means ER, like emergencies. So, one thing I've always said is if someone is hurt or if something happens, either call the police, call the ambulance, call mommy and daddy. Like, there's not much I can do. You know what I mean? Get them safely somewhere they need to be, and then I will handle it or deal with it or, whatever that level is. There's really not many quote unquote emergencies in HR.
Exactly. Literally, someone's having a heart attack. They call me.
Yeah.
What?
Don't call me.
Oh my God. Hurry. Hang up. Call 911. Call 911.
No, I've had people like faint and hit their head. I'm like, have we called an ambulance? No.
We called you first. What the heck?
Why are you calling me? Hang up and call the...
Don't put blood on my hands.
Or it's when the real emergencies that happen at let's say 7:45 p.m. on Friday. And then by emergency, I mean somebody else told somebody else they would do something by end of week.
Oh, yeah. Manufactured urgency.
It's manufactured. So it's like a payroll thing, or again, we need to put this person on a performance plan at 7:45 p.m. on a Friday. Again, that would be weird. So let's that's a Monday. That's a Monday thing. Let's revisit that on Monday and go about our weekend in moderate peace.
Yeah, I received a phone call once at 3 a.m. That two cooks had gotten into a fist fight. This is when I worked in hospitality. And I was like, okay, you split them up? You sent them home? Okay, why are you calling me? I can deal with this in the morning. Like,
that's why I turned my ringer off.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm D&D.
I have parents. I worry about them.
One of my biggest pet peeves as an HR pro is when a manager comes to me and says, God, I got to fire this person.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
first you've ever mentioned anything like, what did they do? Oh, they're just not performing. Oh God, so it's not even a behavioral thing
Yeah.
or
Right. Nothing happened. It's been happening.
nothing
Yeah.
happened, right? It's been happening for years. This person's just never been able to do their jobs. But you just rated them above and beyond last year, and you've never mentioned this. You have no paper, nothing.
Wait, didn't we just give her Employee of the Month? Yeah.
Well, they were buying a house. I wanted to help them out.
For real. No, literally. Too real. I mean, actual examples.
These are real. It's too real. It's too real.
I mean,
oh, you want to commit mortgage fraud by talking about their things? Okay.
And I always say back, well, I can't fire them because they're my best employee. And they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, they have a perfect file. I mean, it's a beautiful file. So it's time to start doing your job, leader. I'm not going to be your henchman here.
HR's slowing us down.
Right? I mean, and so it's like, then you have to go through the coaching with the leader on, okay, so here's how to be a manager. Like, have you had any conversations, anything with this person? Okay, well, let's start there. Because we don't want to just blindside people with performance improvement plans because that's a dick move, But that sucks when people just kind of just lay that turd on your HR doorstep there because they want you to do their evil acts,
Countless times.
What about you, Ashley? Any big pet peeves? Big HR pet peeves?
Probably when like HR's title and reporting structure is like just not commensurate with the rest of the organization.
Yeah.
Like it's an afterthought. And you just say like, okay, well, this is like, again, what message does that send to the rest of the organization? A bad one. And so it really is frustrating and nonsensical, candidly.
Mm-hmm. And I've been there because I've been a Department of One many times, and I've held director level titles where I was sitting in the office C-suite reporting to this, the CFO. I mean, it's
all the VPs, titles. Yeah.
It's very frustrating. And especially when I want to grow with a company and then I my resume doesn't have maybe what all I was doing or what level I should have really had or the title I really had. Another huge pet peeve for me, because I'm kind of in the thick of it right now, but it's when you send out numerous communications. I'm in open enrollment right now. That's why this is relevant.
No one reads them.
People aren't reading them. I know it. I know it's coming.
So whether it's open enrollment or performance review or whatever it is, or the anonymous engagement survey, wink, it's the numerous ways that we try to communicate. So like, I try to be very thoughtful about it. I don't want to bombard your email. So I might put it on a newsletter and then I might put it somewhere else. And then I might send an all teams email or, I try to be thoughtful about it to make sure you're getting it. But then, a month from now, someone's going to be like, oh, hey, was I supposed to sign back up for benefits? When was that? And I'm like, oh, you mean the 38 fucking emails I sent you about this?
Yeah, that's a big HR pet peeve.
See, you can tell that really is a pet peeve for me.
It's excused. It's excused. Self-defense.
Exactly. Well, then on that note, that's a wonderful time to pivot over to questions and comments. Any questions and comments, ladies? I have a comment that I could roll into if you'd like me to start the Q's and C's. It's another pet peeve. I'm not done bitching. But this one isn't just about HR. This is just like general work life. The bus thrower underers. Oh my gosh. And see, this does happen to HR a lot, right? Where we're the fall guys and gals for like all decisions in the workplace. And of course, as good stewards of the organization, we don't throw you all under the bus like our managers. And it's very rare that I've seen HR people do it. We just take the heat and we're like, fuck, you're just going to keep hating me. It's fine. But really 98% of the decisions are made by your leadership team, FYI, not HR in a vacuum. But those bus throw underers, man. Damn, there's a special place in hell for that shit. You know what I mean?
Well, and it doesn't come across like, they may do that to like a client, like some third party. Mm-hmm. It just makes you sound like an asshole. And
you look terrible.
You don't to have the, the ownership of it, and you'll figure it out internally. But thank you.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
I got to get this across the finish line, but
Oh, yeah. Question or comment?
I did want to say another pet peeve of mine, and this is not necessarily HR related either, but I think it might be actually HR related. But like, if I have my purse, my water bottle, and my keys in my arm, and you're bombarding me with a question when I'm trying to open the fucking door to get into my office, fuck you. Like, give me a second. Let me put down my emotional support water bottle.
Mm-hmm. Give a bitch a chance here.
Yeah. Like, fuck.
That is so true. That is so true. The visual, that is so specifically true.
Because it's happened so many times. And sometimes it even happens in the parking lot.
Yes. It coming and going.
Oh my God. Like, I haven't even got out of my goddamn car, Larry.
Knocking on the window.
Yeah, like I'll walk out with you. What?
That's the worst.
Let's not.
Oh my God.
I wanted to pick my podcast I was going to listen to. What? Okay.
I actually sprint to my car, Larry. Can you keep up?
Pretend I'm on the phone. Buy, sell. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to stop at the bathroom. Oh, I'll wait.
Oh my God.
I'll wait. I'll just come in with you. What?
People, come on. Time and place.
No.
It's just everyone thinks their shit's urgent and none of your shit's urgent. But anyway, Ashley, question or comment?
Okay, I'll ask a question. If you were going to compete in the Olympics, what sport would you want to compete in?
Breaking, now that I can.
Oh yeah, the breakdancing, which is now
Breaking is now an Olympic sport. Just kidding. I can like barely stand up or walk, so I could not do that.
broken dancing.
Yeah, broke ass dancing. That's what I do for real. I just do the kind of the little,
Shuffle.
little bob thing. But anyways, yeah, that would be fun. If I could, I would. And figure skating. Like if I could have any talent, holy shit, man, those people. Brilliant.
I would make up a sport and it would be making memes.
You would win at it from a quality and a quantity.
Yeah.
Gold medalist.
Gold medal. I got to cross that finish line.
Oh, there you go. Ashley, what would you do?
I mean, golf, love golf, would be happy to be good enough to be a professional golfer. I would enjoy that. But also then that steeplechase one where you step, you step, but I think you have to step in the water. Like I'd like to jump over the water, but have you seen the one?
Oh, yeah.
Is that I actually wouldn't, I'd strike that. I don't want to run with a wet foot. So
soggy socks.
Pole vaulting.
Yes.
I think that would be.
What's the ball thrower?
I think of trunch bowl, so I can't throw the hammer. No, the hammer. What is that?
Well, it's something like that.
The ball thrower.
I have this. I literally, in the small world type thing, I have someone I graduated college with who's a very famous romance author, not under her real name. And I'm Facebook friends with her under her name. And her daughter is exceptional at that. And she posts these things with her daughter. Shot put. And so she'll post like pictures and videos. And I do not know her child, only know, on the internet. But like, I love to watch these videos because like, and it makes you think of like, I want to do it. And so my daughter did track in middle school and they had that. And I just picked it up one day. I mean, I couldn't throw that thing. Jiminy Cricket's like 2.5 feet. So it is impressive.
I wish I could be fast.
Yeah, I'm pretty fast. I'll give you that.
No, but you're not like Olympic fast.
Well, I mean, okay, there's
2-hour marathon fast is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's no such thing as is there 2 hour marathon? Didn't someone finish that in the sub 2?
Yeah, just barely with the shoes. Remember the Nike experiment and all of that?
I always feel like, and my parents listen to the podcast, I always worry that I'm a bit of a disappointment to my parents because I'm fast at sprinting. Like, I can sprint pretty fast, but I'm slow. My dad is a big marathon runner. He ran like right at 3 hour marathon. He's run the Boston Marathon many times. He's also like a foot tall. He's like taller than Leigh. He's like Leigh's height. But I always I wanted so badly to have that. Like I've run a number of half marathons. I'm slow as shit in that. So you're right.
See, that's what I'm saying. Doesn't that sound exciting? Like being fast. Yeah. Like when you watch the athletes, it's like just neat.
Me, I'm fast. Fuck, no, you're not.
I know, literally. I was like, girl, you ain't fast. Shit. I'm talking Olympic ass fast,
When we do the next HR Besties meetup, we're going to do a foot race.
Oh, fuck that. I ain't doing that shit.
See who can.
You got to get some drinks in me first.
Yeah, Jamie, you've done it.
I was like, y'all forget when I raced that child and I didn't let that fucker win.
Yeah, you beat him.
Oh, that's
you,
right.
You beat
yeah,
him.
you beat down that kid.
But we haven't raced each other, so that's coming up. I'm going to train for it.
Oh, shit. Well, God, on that note, damn. We're going to have our own HR Besties Olympics. You can put money on this. That'll be great. We'll let you know when that goes down.
The feedback loop.
Exactly. We'll do a feedback loop.
Drinking the most White Claws.
Can you imagine how embarrassing that would be to have an HR Olympic? I mean, people would be like, this is exactly what I would think it would be. To be like,
oh, it's
exactly.
feedback loop Olympics.
Oh, I
just
know.
Have drinking and other.
Killer content for social, though.
That is a good point. Oh,
Yeah, we'll think of
Valid.
some events. We'll think of some events next time we're together, and we'll do that. But gosh, let's get this across the finish line, shall we?
Hey,
Thank you so much for joining this meeting. I hope everyone wrote down their action items.
damn, Jamie already left.
Yeah. Ding. You heard me sign off.
Jamie's out the door.
Exactly. Ding, it drops.
I got to drop for another meeting.
Bye.
And on that note, bye.